Welcome to the Young Hustle Rising Minds podcast. This is a special spin-off episodes of Beyond the Hustle. So on Beyond the Hustle, we usually interview freelancers, entrepreneurs, and successful individuals telling their stories beyond their hustle. But right now, on this special spin-off, I would like to feature young minds who are already making it in the industry. Because I believe that every career starts from somewhere. And most of the time, it starts with one idea, with one project, with one passion to pursue their careers. So I'm your host, Shan Sebastian, and this is the Young Hustle Rising Minds podcast. So before we start, I'd like to offer my gratitude to our sponsor for this episode, iAcademy. iAcademy is actually one of my alma maters, and this collaboration means a lot to me. It's known as a school of game changers, and what makes it different is its commitment to helping students develop their unique gifts and talents, not just academically, but creatively and professionally as well. Whether it's technology, multimedia arts, design, fashion, business, or other future-focused industries, iAcademy gives students opportunities to learn through real-world projects, industry mentorship, and hands-on experiences that prepares them for life beyond the classroom. So hey guys, so what's up game changers? We're here in iAcademy and I'm right here with Maria and Jacob. So yeah, without further ado, I'd like to know about you first, no? And foremost, before we dive in dun sa recently junior hackathon or hackfest that you were able to join, no, as a representative of the school. So can you tell me muna something about yourself? So let's go first with you, Maria.
Hello po.
Hello.
I'm Maria Alejandra, a software engineering student here at iAcademy.
Hello, I'm Jacob, a software engineering student also here at iAcademy. A little thing about myself is I actually started out my a course in grade school as it's supposed to be for automotive engineering. Yeah, but then it just went into computer, so that's where I am today.
You love computers.
Yes.
Basically. Both of you. All right, so with that said, because iAcademy is also pretty well known as an unconventional school for, interesting courses for gifted minds like you. So, yeah, was technology a big part of you, or what made you in love with technology? So let's go first with you, Jacob.
The tinkering of technology was what made me love it. So when I was a kid, I kept on disassembling old toys, old appliances, and seeing how I could fit those back together. That is part of how I started my programming journey. Right, fitting parts together again to make like something new or something even better.
You've mentioned that you're a fan of tinkering, with technology. So is it does it really mean that it's also your hobby right now and eventually made you to get software engineering?
Actually, yes, that's exactly what happened. Tinkering made it like tinkering with the broken toys, appliances, all those things I opened up when I was a kid. They taught me how to put them back together again. Like I put them back together. Hopefully they work, right? And this kind of like problem solving, this logic, that also translated eventually when I found out the things I could do with computers.
Cool. So, can you like give some specific things that you want to do in computer? So for non-technology people who's listening right now.
Well, obviously I started with the simple stuff first. So my first programming language was actually just Batch. So for those who are not familiar, it's kind of like automation. So when you see that black box, that scary black box with text on your computer and you type stuff into it, that's the thing I started out with first.
Okay. All right. So, but there's there's like a cliche. If you are someone who's very fond of computers, one of the things that you are, interested in is gaming. Are you into gaming as well?
Of course.
Okay. What kind of games are you playing?
Nowadays, I don't know if you've heard of it, but I think everyone has. It's all just gotcha games now. So I'm not condoning it, but the visuals are very striking to me. That's why they're very like attractive
Mm-hmm.
to me, and the music they put in these games as well. So that's part of what influenced.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Jacob. How about you, Maria?
I am interested in technology because, you know, we as a kid, we grew up in technology. We had computers, we
Yeah.
play like Y8, Y3, and also we also grew up on Facebook already. And I think that helped us communicate with our loved ones who who are living far away from us. And I think that's what I love with technology.
All right. So, what are your interests or hobbies that you're doing right now?
Right now, I'm still a student, so I love to code. I love
Mm-hmm.
to make programs, and outside of it, I go to the gym.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I also go home in my province, and I take care of like 7 cats.
Wow. What's your province?
Just in Cavite,
Oh,
but like the farthest part of Cavite,
Silang
farther than that,
Aguinaldo, Bailen. Um,
Magallanes.
okay.
Yeah.
So far nga. So farmland area.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So, I just want to ask you this question because, well, I mean, technology is, have been in generations of man's world. I mean, but it's nice to see and it's fresh to see that there's a lot of, ladies are coming into technology,
Yes.
like you, who are having fun with, coding because really by history, it's really male dominated industry. So, what's your thoughts about that?
Actually, I love seeing women
Mm-hmm.
in tech.
Yeah.
Like, me joining hackathon and getting into top 7, I think it's really a big thing. Like, I was also the leader of our group, so
Wow.
it's a good thing.
All right. Cool. So I'm actually excited. I also have a lot of friends who are in tech who are women. So it's really fresh to see this kind of innovations as well. And technology has no gender, so
Yeah.
I'm excited to what you can work on moving forward. Okay, so before we proceed to our Junior Hackfest, topic, since I think you're in the same team, right?
Yes.
On the hackathon, yeah. So I would like to ask you, what's your, how would you actually describe each other as a teammate and as a person in general?
Okay.
Instead of describing yourself, it's better I think you can just describe each other since you're both here naman.
Okay. Jacob and I met in an exhibit.
Mm.
We both have a different projects, and he helped us setting up our program in the exhibit, and we weren't that close at the time. And then when we became classmates, he's our back end for the program, and I am the front end. So I think just in coding, we really can work together, and I
Mm.
like that about us.
All right. Okay. How about you, Jacob? How would you describe Maria?
Maria is like the glue that keeps the team together.
Oh.
She's really fit to be a leader, I think. She's led two of our major projects together. So we had like a finals project a few semesters ago, and she was also the leader. She always made sure we had our tasks done. Like she also checked on every member, and like the hackathon now. So even now in the hackathon, she's still the same. She's still our same leader. She's like our, I guess, a mother figure. So
Oh,
yeah,
well,
she's
if you
also
have to lead, you have to be the mother or father of the team, right?
yeah. But most of all, I think when she looks at our work, she does understand the code. So she's a great programmer as well. So she actually helped quite a bit for programming, especially our UI. She has quite an eye for design, I'd say. So yeah, thanks for being our leader. Maria.
All right. So we've been talking about, um, about the junior hackathon or hackfesting since we started our discussion. So let's, talk about it more. And it's the common thing between you two, right? All right. So for those who doesn't know, ano ba yung junior hackathon na to? Or what's that junior hackfest that we've kept on talking about? Can you tell us, the audience, ano ba yun? Yung junior hackathon na yun?
It's where you show your projects that can help a specific community or even the whole country.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a little program that you can make for like an hour to days, but it should have an impact, I guess.
Okay. How about you? How would you describe the Junior Hackfest?
I think it's a test of skills for programmers nowadays since we have a lot of access to information.
Mm-hmm.
Like Maria said, it's for the community. It's to see what young programmers nowadays can think of now that there's a lot more knowledge just floating around, especially on the internet, and see what they can do with it.
It's nice to see that at that age or on your age, you're already thinking ahead of time. Because, of course, technology is the future, where we are in the future, and it will keep on innovating. And there would be a lot of projects coming in with technology. There will be a lot of advancements. And it's nice to see that young people like you guys are already looking up to the future. What can you bring? What would be the impact that you can do? Not just for yourselves personally, but for for many people. As you've said, for maybe for the country. So yeah, with that said, let's talk about your journey on the Hackfest. So can you like briefly share or summarize how did you join the Hackfest? Basically, the Hackfest was like is it an international or national event?
It was international.
It's an international event, right? So can you tell us or walk us through the journey of joining? How did you join? How were you able to qualify? And how are you form your team? And how are you conceptualize also the project?
Okay. Actually, our project, the sign language translator, was just a project in school. And then my professor saw a potential on it, and it was presented to exhibits held by Academy. And when Sir King, our mentor, also saw a competition, he asked if we want to join because those mentors saw a potential in the project, like it has a global impact.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we joined. And then at first, we were struggling on coding and like doing the paperworks because we were not in the same class batch. I'm third year and he's fourth year. He was doing internships already. But we still made it. We still collaborated with each other. We contact each other online. We got into the finalist, and then that's where we focused on coding.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was like the full stack UI UX, and also the back end. And Jacob was our like QA. He checked all the codes, so the app would work well. And then yeah, we presented it to the CN Hackathon for semifinals. We got into top 7.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so how did you form your team at first? Because of course, it's just a school project. It started from that, and then your professors was able to see the potential for it. But what made you decide that you want to join the competition?
For me, it's because I really admire my mentor, my professor, Sir Bennett. And
Mm-hmm.
then when he said he thinks that this has like potential, this can have an impact globally, then that's when I decided to join. And then we formed the team because me and Jacob worked together before, and I see that we can work well. Like, you know, in our previous projects, I was the front end, he was the back end, And I think we really work well together.
All right. How many are you in your team? You can answer, Jacob.
We're actually 3.
Three in the team. So Maria was the lead. You're the QA, and how about the other one?
John, he was another QA,
Okay.
but he was also more responsible for some of the training. So it is an AI project,
Okay.
and
Oh, okay.
we do need like a lot of data.
All right.
So
So it's very important to have a lot of QAs going on. Okay, so let's talk about your project. What was your project about that made you become the top 7 on an international competition?
the project was it's a sign language translator, right? And nowadays you see ChatGPT, other AI models, and they all require an internet connection. Ours doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all offline and runs on relatively low end machines or computers. So it can run on mobile, it can run on maybe a little bit low end laptops. Of course, we're not too optimal. Like we there are limits.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So it's like it's the things that can be afforded. So for example, for rural areas, and yeah,
So can you tell us the title of the app that you made? And I think you mentioned that it's a sign language translator, but can you dissect? Because it's a weird thing, or it's a new thing to see how are you going to translate a sign language? How were you able to come up with that?
We named it Talking Palm because we want to honor the hands of like the deaf and mute community that um, they use it to communicate
Okay.
with other deaf and mute
Yes.
or even with the hearing users.
I'm quite interested about because I grew up also having to go to my high school during junior high school kasi katabi ng school namin yung Philippine School for the Deaf and school for the Blind. So I know I've been exposed to a lot of sign languages. I actually learned a few things about sign language, and it's really nice thing to hear about this project. So um, if you're going to pitch or something like if you're going to describe your project to our viewers right now, I'm pretty much sure there's a lot of go hearing communities on this podcast who are also an advocate for people who are deaf and mute. So, can you talk about the features of what you did?
We actually have like 3 modes for it. One is the communication mode where like you can do hand gestures, for example, hello, for example, here, I love you. And then the communication mode, that part can actually recognize it, and then you can decide to make your laptop speak by doing also another gesture like this. We made this gesture for the laptop to speak. And then the other one is learning mode, where, for example, us hearing users, us also at first we didn't know anything about the gestures. We only know like hello or I love you. That specific gesture is where you can learn how to do the other ones, like I live in, where do you live? And the other one is like a very simple one, like a quick talk. For example, you need help. You can just type on a specific button so the laptop can speak. It's like that.
Oh, cool. So this is really for the communication of the non-hearing and hearing community.
Yes, the goal is the primary user will be the hearing and deaf community, and the secondary user will be like the hearing users. So they can also
Learn.
get to learn
Yeah.
how to do sign language and communicate also with the deaf and mute community.
I'm quite familiar with some sign language, but we have FSL, right?
Yes.
So for Filipino Sign Language, does your app, since it's an international competition, was it like a general or international sign language that you followed?
There is actually no like general sign language because all sign languages differ depending on the region or country. We actually focused on Filipino sign
So it's an
language.
FSL.
Yeah, and we just added a bit of Vietnamese sign language because the competition is held on Vietnam.
Okay, so for Vietnamese judges.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm curious, what inspired you, to start that project? If you're enjoying today's conversation, don't forget to follow and subscribe the Young Hustle Rising Minds podcast. We'd also like to thank iAcademy for supporting this episode. As one of my alma maters, it is inspiring to see how our school, iAcademy, still continues to do efforts and initiatives to make sure that students get the most out of their education. Now, without further ado, let's proceed on our episode.
What really inspired me is my mentor, really, like Sir Bennett. Because yeah, he saw a potential on just a pet project, and he was telling me that that can have a global impact, that can help people.
Yeah, but with the concept of trying to create an app for the deaf and mute communities, where did you get the idea from?
The idea came from, well, first it came from exploring how to do it in the first place. So there's this tool we used for the application that can detect your fingers and like detect which gesture you're currently holding. So like earlier, we just put that together in order to make something useful. So that is the technology we have now. It's actually it's the let's say it's like the backbone of the entire program, since it's the one that detects the hands and the gestures. Since we have that in our modern time, that didn't exist before, and it's very accessible to us now. So that's what inspired us to like, okay, what can we do with this? So let's see if we can we detect if certain hand gestures are being detected, and it detected it really accurately. So we decided to go for, okay, let's do a sign language, and
Okay.
let's see if this program can help people.
All right. Okay. So I think the final would be you just get the feature of the app. You discover the feature, and then you find a way where you can actually create an impact with. So that's the sign language. Sige. So let's move on with our conversation right now. So during the hackathon, what were there any significant challenges that you experienced?
Training
Okay.
the program to recognize certain hand gestures, since of course technology, we're not going to say technology is perfect. It has its flaws. And for example, it's only using the camera. We don't have any special equipment. So this library for detecting hand gestures, sometimes if you cross your fingers, it's going to spaz out. We needed to have countermeasures against that. We had to some sign languages have like this, for example, the thumb behind the index finger, stuff like that. Training for that was pretty hard. We needed to like get sometimes multiple angles in order for it to be detected correctly. So I guess it's still an ongoing challenge for us, actually.
The training part.
Yeah, the
So as we're talking about the training, of course, part of it is you have to have the knowledge about sign language. How were you able to, put yourself into learning sign language while, trying to develop your product as well? So did you enroll to classes just to learn the sign language, or were you able to try to immerse yourself with the community to actually try it out as part of the training?
We actually get to learn from online, like YouTube videos, and also there are some documentations for it, for the alphabet, for the everyday gestures. So yeah, it was all online for us.
Okay, so you were able to, do it at the same time while working on the project.
Yes.
Okay, so that's very nice and awesome, right? Okay, so I think I'm curious about. I think you actually mentioned a while ago that it's an AI project, and we are in the age of AI right now. AI is really innovating every day. Every single day, there's a new thing about AI. It's a continuing emerging technology. So, as students right now, what can you say about AI first? Because there's a lot of things going on in AI, right? So, why did you choose a project that's AI powered?
There's like on social media, on the internet, there's actually the good and the bad
Yeah.
AI, right? So you hear everywhere about like Gen AI, the AI that gets lots of images and then churns out something that looks I don't even know how to describe it. So that's the thing we're not too fond of. And but what we want AI to be used for is, yeah, for the hand detection and stuff. Okay, so we decided to, since there are two kinds of AI, the bad AI and the good AI. So the bad AI, in summary, they take from humans, from human creativity, and like they just dispense some weird amalgamation of it. But for us, the AI we want to do is one that actually helps people. So there are loads and loads of other AI models. For example, for transcription, they get data from people who speak, and then they transcribe speech into text. So that's the kind of AI as students we think should be used for, instead of the other ones stifling creativity. So for us, this AI model that we used is lightweight, runs on low end computers, and like unlike, for example, generative AI. So the memory crisis nowadays, it's caused by, because those AI use a lot of power,
Yep.
right? Ours just runs on the user's machine. It's entirely on your computer. You have like you don't have to worry about your data being sent anywhere. So I think this using also this kind of AI, like, gives the user also a peace of mind. For the user, I hope it feels like it's a technical achievement, since, for example, it's running on my computer. It's not running on someone else's computer in the cloud. So that's like my thoughts on how I think we used
AI.
AI for our project.
All right. How about you? Because right now, people are, clamoring about AI. It's about environmental concerns, about the data usage. But for you, as someone who actually tries to develop out of AI, um, is AI something that you are excited with or intimidates you?
Actually, what I want to say is we shouldn't be scared of AI.
Yes.
Because AI is a tool.
Mhm.
Who developed AI? Us. We actually made one.
Yep.
Who maintains AI? Us. So I think us shouldn't be scared of AI. We can make use of it. We can use it as a tool
Yep.
for our everyday life.
All right. So, what can you say about people who are like, trying to like bash or critique AI? What are your thoughts about that? Since it's really a hot topic right now, right? So, what are your thoughts about it?
Like Maria said, using AI as a tool to augment your work, but not to completely replace it, I think it's completely fine,
Yep.
right? And to reiterate what I said earlier, for example, using AI for what was supposed to be human art. Well, I think that's where I think a lot of people, they generalize it into only that kind of AI. So I think it's best to educate people more on like which AI is the good and the bad one. But yeah, I think AI as a tool, and for accessibility, I think AI will be very useful in that field.
Yeah, and I believe AA is just a tool. It's really a tool. So it never is a means to an end. So and there goes the hot topic that AI will eventually replace humans. Do you believe that? As someone who was working in AI industry as well. So what are your thoughts about it?
I don't think AI will ever replace humans
Okay.
because, well, AI is trained on human data. And what do humans make? Mistakes. And a computer, like, it'll always be logical. It's always going to have mistakes. So using AI, right, like earlier, using AI as a tool. So instead of letting it do everything, as a human, you still need to check what it does, right? So vibe coders, that's what they call them nowadays. They still do need to check what their code is, like what the AI outputs, in order for it to work correctly. Because there's gonna be some discrepancies that AI AI will probably never be able to fix. It's getting better, but it's still not perfect. After all, the humans made AI, and humans make mistakes.
All right. I love that. I think I also heard that from Sir Bennett. Yeah. So I think that's one of my biggest takeaway from him as well. How about you? What's your thought about it? What are your thoughts about it?
The same as Jacob's. I don't think AI can ever replace humans, because as what I said earlier, we made one actually,
Hmm.
and um human maintains AI, human develop AI. So, and AI can never develop a human.
Yeah.
So it will
I
never
like that.
replace a human.
All right. So I love that thought that AI can never develop a human. The only one who can actually invent AI is human beings.
Yes.
And there's a thing that we call human in the loop. You're familiar with that? So in
I'm
every
familiar.
projects with regards to artificial intelligence, there's what we call human in the loop. So AI won't function unless there's a human in the loop.
Yeah.
So may it be an inventor, a user, a consumer, or the target market, but there will always be a human in the loop. So for those people who are thinking that AI will replace humans, especially with your jobs, definitely no. So, but here's what the important thing is to remind ourselves as well, is that AI people who are using AI will replace those who don't, and that's a hard truth, because I'm an advocate of AI, of course a responsible usage of AI, because technology will always advance. It's either you adopt or you die. That's the terms we're using in technology industry. So if you're someone who's working and you think that you can be replaced by AI, you should always look for a way for you to leverage AI on your end, and that's the way it is. Especially in the workforce already, you have to use it into your advantage rather than to your disadvantage. All right, so that's a nice topic. Now that we are in the talks of AI, sa tingin nyo, no, what are the skills that really matters with regards to AI? Kasi parang nandiyan yung AI is there. So do you think skills still matter, that AI is already present?
Yes, skill still matters. Especially learning to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
Like for us developers, we can make use of AI to, like, to code easily, to check your code, to debug. If you won't learn to adapt, like, you'll be left behind.
All right, yeah. How about you, Jacob?
Definitely, skills are still definitely required, because AI is still running on a computer. It's still logical, so you need to know exactly what to tell it, right? So you
Exactly.
need your skills to know exactly what to tell the AI. So, okay, I want this thing moved here. If you don't know what you're doing with AI, then obviously you're not gonna get any work done. So yeah.
Cool. So, because I am a context engineer myself for AI, so I'm a vibe coder. So, what are your thoughts about vibe coding since we're in the topic?
Uh,
Is it something, I think for the programmers or the IT community, like, nagiging ick siya for some. So, I can totally get it because I'm not an IT student, I'm not an IT graduate, but I do vibe coding. I can create apps and websites already with the help of AI.
Yes.
So, what are your thoughts about it?
I think it's a nice that people are able to do that nowadays. Like what us computer science students have been studying for years, people can now like do in seconds.
Yeah.
I think it's like it's nice if people would like specify if they did vibe code it or not. But I guess for example on GitHub you can see the contributors like
Mm.
Copilot or Claude.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so but I also hope that vibe coding also teaches them like how to code themselves. I hope they'll also get they'll also try to learn the satisfaction of creating their own stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
The foundation still.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Just a bit more easier than before. Yeah. Okay. So how about you? What are your thoughts about vibe coding?
I think it's okay as long as you understand what you're doing.
Yep.
Because, for example, you use ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini, it's still not perfect.
Yep.
It still hallucinates.
Yes.
It's important that when you vibe code, you check your codes, you check what it displays, especially for privacy purposes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So you're not the type of person who actually badmouth
I
vibe
don't.
coders.
I don't. I like that people also uses AI, like they adapt.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the bright thing to see, right, with regards to vibe coding. Although there are, again, it's a tool. So people can actually use it for the good or for the bad pa rin. So it's really up to people pa rin. And kaya nga ako, if ever, whenever I try to teach AI, I always include responsible usage of AI.
Yes.
Because everyone can use AI, but not everyone can use it well
Mhm.
and properly, especially on the topic of AI slops. Have you heard of AI slops? You know, mga brain rot videos like
Yeah.
nagsasayang tayo ng tubig.
Yeah.
No, because of that. So, but yeah, always look at be intentional. If you're a vibe coder or even, you're professional programmers, you always believe that whatever you do, there's something behind or the reason why you're trying to build it. So the same thing with, vibe coding. It's just the same thing. It's really the outcome that we're looking on. What's the impact for this one? So if you're going to use AI, you make sure that, you know the reason why you're using it. All right. Okay, so I think that's pretty much an elephant in the room kasi. Especially there will be people watching this that are not programmers or not software engineers who understand, your thought process. Di ba also ngayon yung, ano ba yung thought process ng mga software engineer about vibe coding, about AI? And thank you for explaining that well. Na no matter how good vibe coding you are, if you don't know the purpose of what you're doing, if you don't understand it, you don't know or understand the context, it's really a trash or garbage at the end of the day. So yeah, thank you for that. Now we're going to, end or wrap up. Few questions left. Okay, so here are advice. What are advices naman? So to future students who are watching us this or listening into. So what would be your advice to students who are interested to, dive into technological courses or technical courses like software engineering, but don't know where to start?
There's always tutorials on YouTube,
Yeah.
but like if you're gonna take a course like software engineering, for example, like, you know what your purpose is. You know what you want to do with the software. You can make like, for example, a simple program to show a birthday card to your mom, right? Like you can make that easily nowadays. So it's like really start with the basics. Don't start off with something too ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be like, that doesn't have to be your first project. That's how all of these start. I really just started like tinkering with small gadgets at home. I didn't even think I'd become a software engineer in the future. So just think small first. In this world of AI, especially, you like we said earlier, you still need your skills, still need to study them in order to like use AI effectively. Don't let AI discourage you from becoming a software engineer. because we're still needed. We still do have to maintain a lot of systems. So yeah.
Yeah, I think software engineers are the ones behind AI most of. So you don't have to compete with it. You have to work with it, right? How about you? So what would be your advice for those who wants to pursue a course in, in technical courses like it?
Yeah, the same as what Jacob said. Uh, all the learning tools, you can access it online, YouTube, or some PDFs on Google, or, you know, and do not be scared. If you want to take IT, if you want to take computer science, if you want to take software engineering, do not be scared. AI can never replace us. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think you're third year right now currently, and you're graduating in the next month. So, what would be a mindset that you would want to share to, students who are listening right now that, will hold their ground until the end? So especially you have joined on hackathon, you were able to win and get a spot on top seven, and sooner you'll be graduating as well. So what would be a mindset, a very important mindset for students today, especially in the age of AI?
I think one of my biggest strength is I always want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also hardworking, and that's what I also want to share to like students. So also be hardworking. Uh, also always try to learn, always try to adopt.
All right. How about you, Jacob?
Well, in this age of AI, like, just don't get discouraged, because, like I said, you'll still be needed.
Mm-hmm.
Like Maria said, just keep learning, just keep acquiring new information, new knowledge to help you grow your skill set. Step out of your comfort zone as well.
Yeah. So I think what I get from both of your answers is we must, always have a room for improvement, have that kind of mindset that we have to continuously learn because technology will continuously evolve. If you stop and become complacent right now that, no, okay na ako, kontento na ako sa alam ko, that's the time that you will be left out or left behind. So I think that would be a very important lesson for a lot of students right now that who are struggling to study, Because, I mean, this is an advice from coming from someone who already been there, who graduated, and until now, I'm still studying, you know. I always upskill, I always learn. Until my life motto is, until the day I die, I will continuously learn. So every day is a learning process. It's a learning opportunity. And in everything that you learn, lessons that you get, there will always be a good opportunity as well. So yeah, I think that would be a very good, thing to live because graduating, that's just the beginning. you know, if you think that, we're able to finish, how many years of your studies, 20 years, 21 years, 24 years, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The real game is out there. When you start working, when you start to deal with people, when you start to use all the knowledge that you have, you know compiled on, and all throughout the years that you actually study. So as we wrap up, we have a few minutes left. Let's end this with a very cute, rapid fire questions. Are you open?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, sige. So let's start with first question. Morning or night owl?
Morning.
Night owl.
Coding or designing?
Coding.
Coding.
Android or iOS?
Both.
Both.
Okay. Favorite app?
Ooh. Instagram.
Umamusume.
What?
Umamusume.
Okay, okay. Favorite AI tool?
Our project.
Our
So
project.
thinking palm.
Talking Paul.
Talking palm. Talking palm AI. Does it have AI in it? in the title. Okay, so talking Palm. Favorite language model, AI language model.
Cloud Sonnet.
Cloud Sonnet.
Cloud Sonnet.
Cloud Sonnet. Favorite game.
Valorant.
Forza Horizon 6.
Okay. One technology you can't live without.
Smartphones.
My laptop.
Dream company.
Meta. Google.
Side games.
Oh, one person you admire.
Our mentor, Sir Bennett Tanyag.
Back in senior high school, I think he's still here, Sir Chu.
Okay, one word to describe Junior Hackfest.
Memorable.
Anxiety inducing.
One skill every student should learn.
Learning to adapt.
Communication.
Okay, so finish the sentence. Success is.
Making an impact.
Not giving up even when it gets hard.
All right, so thank you so much. That wraps up our podcast episode. Any last words or anyone who would want to shout out in this episode?
We want to shout out our groupmate, John Chua,
Sir Bennett, our mentor.
and also Sir King for helping us in a CNA hackathon.
And most importantly, our alma mater,
iAcademy.
All right, so last one. Please invite our viewers to watch the Young Hustle Rising Minds podcast.
Hi, I'm Maria.
Hi, I'm Jacob.
And please go watch Young Hustle Rising Minds podcast.
Thank you so much for your time and for being part of our podcast episode. We'd also like to thank iAcademy for making this episode possible. So if you're a student who is passionate about technology, multimedia, fashion, design, business, and you're looking for a school that values innovation and real-world learning, you can learn and try visit iacademy.edu.ph. You can also check the links on this episode below for more information. So again, thank you so much for joining the Young Hustle Rising Minds podcast, a special spin-off of Beyond the Hustle. If today's episode inspired you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Share it to your friends, to your classmates, and to someone that you think might benefit from this video. Again, this is the Young Hustle Rising Minds podcast. See you on our next episodes.